Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming to Cony today and for what I promise will be a stimulating event and a great opportunity to do something that we don't do enough, even here in the capital city, which is talk about the great things that are going on in states and schools across our country. My name is Steve Bowen. I'm very proud to serve the governor and the people of Maine as the commissioner of the Maine Department of Education. I'd like to begin today's event by thanking our hosts. First of all, Cony High School. Personally thank Principal Kim Silsby, who's over here, and her staff for hosting us. This is an operating high school. There are high school students on the grounds. We made them park over in the snow to make room for all of you. So please, when you see them, be thankful and extend your appreciation to them. I also want to thank Superintendent Jim Anastasio, the Augusta School Committee. Oh, here comes the bells.
Good morning. Just a quick message. Presentation, we are shutting the bells off this time.
There you go. Just like that. Thank you, Kim. So, and thank you to the whole Augusta school community for hosting us here today. We have a number of legislators here today. It would take most of the morning to recognize all of them, but I do want to recognize the Augusta delegation, in particular led by State Senator Roger Cates, whose idea it was to have this event here at Cony. So thank you, Roger. And also recognize Representative Matt Pouliot and Representative Corey Wilson as part of the Augusta delegation, and thank them for their hospitality and for hosting us here in the state's capital city. Our goal today here, I think, is relatively simple. It's to explore some school reform ideas that we see in place here in Maine and across the nation, and to stimulate some discussion around a central question. And it's the one that occupies a lot of my time as commissioner, a lot of the governor's time as a chief executive who's put education at the center of his administration. How do we make sure that all students have access to a quality education? We're going to hear a lot from experts from all around the nation today who help us answer that question, and I look forward, as I know all of you do, to hearing from them. So we have a very, very busy agenda today and a lot to get to, so we're going to go right ahead and get started where we should with an event that's about putting kids first, which is with a student. Michelle Zhang, who's a senior here at Cony, who's going to welcome us to Cony and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. So, Michelle.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning, everyone. My name is Michelle Zhang, and I just wanted to extend a warm welcome to everyone who was able... Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. Good morning. My name is Michelle Zhang, and I just wanted to extend a warm welcome to everyone who was able to get up early enough for this event. The Cony community is extremely pleased to be hosting Governor LePage's Conference on Education. Thanks to the generous financial support of the great state of Maine and the city of Augusta, we have this beautiful school that 1,000 students spanning from grades 7 to 12 to call their academic home. Without this charitable funding from the state of Maine and the city of Augusta, I wouldn't be able to say and feel confident about my public school education taking me to the next stage of my academic career. Before Governor LePage takes the stage, I just wanted to go over some general housekeeping. First, as you know, school is in session, so for safety reasons, we ask that all conference participants stay in the auditorium and great hallway where you registered. In addition, we ask that you enter and exit through door number 3. Our bathrooms are located out the front of the auditorium off the food court area. And if those directions are a bit confusing and if you're as directionally challenged as myself, please feel free to ask any of our student ushers who are available to guide you. Also, Cony has 3 half-hour lunch periods from 10:35 through 12:25. So if you use the restrooms during that time, you may see some of our students in there. We also wanted to let you know that our school ends at 1:45 for high school and 1:55 for middle school. Since your lunch break is around 1 o'clock, you may want to avoid leaving between 1:45 and 2:10. Reason being, it's Friday, and students are very eager to start their weekend with their chisel-whizzle-filled plans. With all that being said, on behalf of the staff and the students of Cony, welcome to our amazing school. We hope that you enjoy your conference. If you need anything while you're here, please feel free to ask.
Thank you, Michelle, and thanks again to all the students at Cony for sharing your school with us today. It's now my great honor to introduce my boss. I don't think it's a secret to anybody in this room that Governor LePage has made education a central focus of his administration. For the 2 years that I've been on the job at the department, the governor and I have met countless times, I can't even think of the number of times, to explore ideas to make our schools better and develop and forward proposals to do just that. As a commissioner, it's been a distinct pleasure to work with a governor who is as committed to education as Governor LePage is. I consider myself extraordinarily fortunate to be able to work with him to improve educational opportunities for kids. As you can tell from all of the materials, this is the governor's conference on education. This whole thing was his idea. He grabbed me at a conference we were at and said, we ought to do one of these up in Maine. So here we are. And so it's my distinct pleasure to welcome to the stage for some opening remarks the 74th governor of the great state of Maine, Paul LePage.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's a real pleasure to be here today, and thank you, Steve, for some kind words, and Michelle. It's great to see you again. I met Michelle a while back, and I will tell you, she is the real deal, and she is what this conference is all about. And I'd like to ask her, Michelle, what do you think you're going to be doing in 10 years?
Hopefully having a successful career and having a loving family, the worst.
It's what we all look forward in life. At your age, I will tell you, and this is the truth, at her age, I was looking to become a successful Pepsi-Cola truck driver. And not only did I dream of it every day, I worked it every day as a helper on a truck. And believe me, when I say to you, that was my aspiration, because that was all I knew. That was the highlight of my life, was getting up and going to work as a helper and getting empty bottles out of cellars. And I thought, wow, I'm going to be a great truck driver, until about my senior year, when I went in to see my guidance counselor, and they looked at my grades, looked at my background, and said, Paul, we suggest that you learn how to paint. And it wasn't canvas. So I took a little offense to that. And I went on my mission. I took it upon myself to try to get into college. And I applied to 50 colleges. And I remember one college, I applied on a Thursday and I got the rejection on Monday. I think it was Boston College. I was batting 0 for 50 until I had the good fortune of meeting the president of Husson College up in Bangor. And he took a chance on me. He gave me an exam in French because I told him my problem was my language, because I started speaking English at 13, and by 18, well, let me give you the real story here. If you take your SATs and you spell your name correctly, I think you get 200 points. I fell short of 300. So they gave me an exam in French to see if I had the ability to comprehend. And I did very, very well, so they accepted me on academic probation. And I graduated 4 years later as the top graduate, still on academic probation, but with like a 3.9. So it was quite an experience. And the reason I tell you that story this morning is because I believe my mission for the rest of my life is to make sure that every Maine student has the same opportunity I had. That is my mission. People say, what drives this guy? Well, I'll tell you, there are only very simple two things that drive me. Is having every student have the best opportunity for an education. And secondly, is to make Maine a very prosperous state. And that's all that drives me. And I do work many hours. I'm considered a little bit of a workaholic, but it's because I am so passionate about my state. Now, today you're going to hear some folks from around the country, and I had the good fortune of listening to these folks at a conference, an education conference put on by former Governor Jeb Bush. And I'm telling you, it's astounding what they have to offer and the things that you're going to hear today, the things that have happened in other parts of the nation. You're going to hear from Tony Bennett, who is currently the Commissioner of Education in Florida, formerly from Indiana. And if you look at the track record of both those states in the last decade, it's just phenomenal what has happened and what they've done with our kids. And we can do that here. Now, I don't apologize for being a little rough around the edges, because that's what happens when you're on the streets. But I will tell you this. It comes from the right place. It comes from wanting to make sure that every student gets it and that we provide it. Now, we brought a graph up here today, and I just want to say that a lot of people will tell you that I'm anti-schooling, I'm anti-education, I'm anti-everything. But this is what we've done with education. If you see the blue right here was historical under my predecessor. And the red is what we've added to education since we've been here in the last 4 years. So to say that the governor of the state of Maine is cutting education is incorrect. To say that the governor of Maine is trying to make up for some major cuts at the federal level, that is correct. And so I am committed to our kids. I am committed to this conference. I'm committed to the people you're going to hear today. It's just phenomenal what is happening. I would say this about the state of Maine. At 18, I hated this state. At 21, I fell in love with it because I got an education. Education opens up, unlocks your opportunities and your ability to face life and have the ammunition and the knowledge to get through and be successful. Now, I would say, on a scale of 1 to 10, I've been modestly successful. I'd say I'm a 7. But I want every kid in our schools to be a 9 and a 10. So I hope you enjoyed today's conference. I hope that you really get a lot out of it, because, in closing, I want to say this. In my life's experience, I will tell you that some children will learn with their eyes, others with their ears, others with their hands. Others, they talk their way into success. But the point being is they all deserve it. So we have to give them options, opportunities. I'll give you one quick story about our son Devin. He came here, we got him here from Jamaica. In the first 6 months, I was about ready to pull my hair out. What am I going to do with this kid? He doesn't want to study. He doesn't like U.S. government, U.S. government, history, he couldn't stand. Geography, he knew where Jamaica was and where Maine was, and he found Maine very cold. So I went to the superintendent and I said, what am I going to do with this kid? He's driving me crazy. He said, Paul, get rid of the dead white man books and get him something he likes. Well, today, he's got his master's. He lives in the South. He's a golf pro at a very expensive golf course, which I can't even afford to go at as on a governor's salary. Come on, Roger, you got to give me a raise. No, in all seriousness, he has done very well. He's married to a lovely young lady who's on the Olympic team. So he's been just a marvelous success. And it's all about buying him a stack of golf magazines, and he read and read and read, and now he is just a phenomenal young man. So education is everyone's future. Thank you.